Welcome back to Tips and Tricks, and today we're going to be talking about worries, and more specifically, kind of sorting through our worries to see which ones we actually should worry about and which ones maybe we should let go. Because what happens is we tend to worry about a lot of things, right? Especially in the world we're living in, we worry about a lot of things, and it's totally natural for us to worry. However, we don't want our worries to rule us, right? We want to be in control of our worries. And so what happens is a lot of the time we start worrying about things that we have absolutely no control over. Like the weather. We start worrying about, maybe it'll rain, or maybe there'll be a thunderstorm. Can we control the weather? No, not at all. It'd be pretty cool if we could, but we can't control the weather. And so when we can't control our worries, we want to make sure that we can take a deep breath and move on and let it go, knowing that we can't control that. There are just some things in life that we can't control, and we have to take a deep breath and let it out and know that it's going to be okay, and we'll deal with things as they come. But then there are also worries that we can control, like my homework. We can control whether we do our homework, right? Most of the time you go home and you might have a snack or have dinner, and then you do your homework. So if you choose not to do your homework, well, then that makes sense that you'd be worried about it. But that's something that's within your control. And so we are going to work on sorting our worries today. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a piece of paper and a pencil, and that's pretty much it. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to cut 2 strips of paper or a whole sheet of paper, whichever one you want to do. And you're going to write things that I can control. Because there are a few things that are in our realm of control, but we also want to think through things that I cannot control. Because there are going to be some things that we worry about that we can't control. And there are going to be things that we worry about that we can control and make a plan for. So that's what we're going to be practicing today. So then you're going to want to cut up little pieces of paper. And on these little pieces of paper, you are going to write different fears or things that cause you to have worry. For instance, maybe you're worried about getting shots. Maybe you know you have to go to the doctor soon and get shots. And so you're going to write down all of your worries. So think in your mind, oh my gosh, what is it that I worry about? And you're going to write all those down, okay? And it could be a lot, and that's all right. Or it could be very few, and that's okay too. So then we're going to move on to the next step. All right, so the next step of our worry sort is we're going to be actually sorting our worries into 2 categories. And those 2 categories are things that I can control and things that I cannot control. So you might not be able to see it, but I'm going to place my 2 categories right here. And then I am going to get all of my worries. And then I'm going to start with each single worry. I'm going to say, okay, getting shots. Is this something that I can control? No, right? We have to get shots. And so I'm going to place that in the things I can't control. And what we want to do when we place those worries over there on the things I can't control, we're going to take a deep breath in through our nose. We're going to let it out through our mouth and let it go, because we can't control that, can we? No. All right, what about like parents fighting? Can we control that? No, we can't. So again, we're going to take a deep breath in and let it out. Let's say that you're really worried about a test coming up. Is that something that we have control over? Yeah, sure, right? We could study for the test. We could put in our best effort, knowing that we did our very, very best. And so we're going to put that on things I can control. And maybe after we put tests there, we can think, okay, so I have a test on Friday. I'm going to start studying on Wednesday for my test. And then you set a goal and study each night. See, something you can control. So what about my family? Can we control other people and what you're worried about? No, unfortunately. They have their own brains, right? And they do their own thinking. So we're going to put that one over here. And we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to let it out, right? We can't control that. All right, this is a good one. COVID-19. Can we control what happens with the virus? No, unfortunately we can't, because that's something that we have no control over. We could control washing our own hands and our own health, right? We could wash our hands, we could wear a mask, we could stay 6 feet away from people, and we can try to help with that. But the whole thing, the whole coronavirus that we're dealing with, we can't control that. So again, we're going to put that under things I can't control. I'm going to breathe in and breathe out, knowing that we can't control it, and let it go. All right, so you're going to continue on, and you're going to sort through all of your worries to figure out which ones you can control and which ones you can't control. All right, so after we've sorted through our worries, we can do a couple of things. So if you're like me, you have a lot of things under the things I cannot control. I tend to worry about things that I have absolutely no control over. And sometimes I can get myself into a real pickle because I'm so worried about things that I just can't control. I have to learn to take a deep breath in, let it out, and let it go. So there's a couple things you can do. You can take your worries and you can rip them up and say, nope, I'm not going to worry about that because I can't control it. Or another thing you could do is you could create a worry box. All right, so you could decorate this box if you wanted to, and then you could put all of your worries that you can't control into that box. Because it's all good and well to say, oh, I'm not going to worry about that. But is that really hard to do? For sure, 100%. So you can put your worries that you cannot control in this box. And so when your mind starts thinking about it, you can go to the box, take it out, let yourself worry about it for about 10 seconds. Count to 10 in your head, and then you put it back in the box and you don't allow yourself to worry about it until the next time you get out the box, the next day. So those are two options you could do with the things that you cannot control. So we're going to move those aside, and we're going to focus on the things that we can control. So like I said before, for the things you can control, we're going to come up with a plan. Because we tend to worry about things, but we wouldn't have to worry about it if we just made a plan, right? So for instance, I said forgetting my device. All right, let's say that I'm really worried about forgetting my iPad or my Chromebook that I need for school, and then, oh my goodness, what happens? So something you could do to help you with that worry is you could have a checklist next to your backpack each night. Do I have this? Do I have my charger? Do I have my device? And you could check it every single night, and that would be able to help you go to sleep and not worry about it. Homework. That's another thing that we could easily make a plan for. Okay, so when I get home from school or I get home from daycare, I'm going to have a little bit of a snack, give myself a 10-minute break, and then I'm going to do my homework. And so you make sure that you get your homework done every single night. And we already talked about this one, tests. So you think, okay, I have a test on Friday. So what can I do leading up to the test to make myself feel like I am ready and able to do this test? So maybe you start studying on Monday for your test on Friday, or maybe you start studying on Wednesday, and maybe you ask your parent, hey, can you help me study for this? And they can come alongside you and help you not to worry about it so much. So we worry about lots of things, and it's totally natural, it's totally okay, but we want to make sure that we are in control of what we're worrying about. And so if you can't worry about it or you can't control it, then we're going to put it off to the side. We're going to take a deep breath in, let it out, and we're going to let it go. If there are things we worry about that we can control, then we're going to set up a plan, and we're going to stick to that plan to help us not to worry so much. So thanks for joining, guys, and we will see you next time.